critical if you're either going on a home performance testing or equipment sale. It's essential in both kind of calls. So let's start with the first step. Where do we park? Ideally, if you can, you want to park your vehicle outside in front of the house in line with the front door, so that when our client opens the front door, they see you, see your vehicle with the company name. It's essential. What we don't want is our customer having any fear or having to do any guesswork, trying to figure out who you are, who is this at my front door. You want them comfortable. One step that we like to do before this is send out an email, a picture of the person that's going to be showing up at the house. If that's you, an email of you, maybe your family, your credentials is always good. And then you also get their email address for future marketing and contact. The next thing is, when they see your truck and you need to have a pictured name badge. A pictured name badge is you want to hold out in front of you, so when they open the door, they see you, the picture, your name, and the company vehicle. Now that the customer feels comfortable who you are, seeing your name badge, your picture, if you're emailing your picture of yourself before you get there, they see the truck behind you. We have to understand something. You only get one shot at a first impression, not two. It is the first impression that's essential. But let's talk about what we bring up to the front door. First, I believe in having nothing in your hands, maybe a clipboard, maybe a flashlight in your back pocket. Our goal is not to walk up to the house and have all kinds of bulky things in our hands, distracting what the customer's focusing on, which should be you. Another rule to pay attention to: do not walk in customers' yards. Don't walk in garage doors expecting they left it open for you. Approach the front door. When you get to the front door, knock on the front door, back away at least 5 to 6 feet. Stay out of their space. In fact, when they open the door, don't even approach the front door until you completely know, they know who you are. And the ways to know that, they're going to say, oh, you're the heating and cooling guy, or oh, you're Mark, or oh, you're from ABC Heating and Cooling, whatever your company name might be. And at that point, you can then approach them. First step when you walk up to that front door, is I call the steps of the warm-up at the front door, is getting on a first name basis. When you introduce yourself, the proper way to do it is, hi, I'm Rick from Comfort Institute, and reach out your hand. I shake everyone's hand. I've had maybe 5 people in my whole life that didn't shake my hand or didn't feel comfortable with it. And truly, I've been doing this since the late 70s. 5 is not a whole lot. I create that bond at the front door, whether it be a lady, no matter the age, or a man, no matter the age. Always create that bond. I use my first name only, and generally they will give you their first name right at that point too, and that's them giving you permission. If you don't know or if you do know their first name already before you approach the door, do not use it ever, assuming it's okay, again, until they give you their name or they offer it to you, and you want to draw it out of them, of course, by introducing yourself and hoping they give it to you. If they don't, what you want to do is something very simple. As you're shaking their hand, I just simply look at them and say, I'm sorry, I didn't get your first name. Now we're entering in the front door. There's several approaches to this, depending if you're going out as a service tech for a home performance or a salesperson for home performance. Things I prefer to do. If you do carry one thing with you, I like to carry besides a clipboard and a flashlight, and that's a small 3x4 red carpet that you roll out in the front door. You'll later use that to set any equipment or tools that you might have on it instead of sitting on their carpeting or finished floors. Now, after I roll out the carpet, if you do carry one, we stop at the entry foyer, and this is where we put on our shoe covers. We call them floor savers. You're going to probably get the comment, don't worry about it, you don't have to do it. Unfortunately, I've seen guys and ladies out there go, well, that's okay, thank you, and not put them on. You just broke integrity with the customer. Could have been a test, actually. What I prefer you to say is, listen, it's my company's policy, I have to do it, but thank you for the offer. And I put your shoe covers on. It's the right thing to do. It's showing that you're willing to do things that nobody else is willing to do. By the way, integrity is what you say and do when no one else is looking or listening. And they're gonna sense that from you when you stick to your guns and keep your company policy. They know your company's not watching you. They know they can't see you, but you're still doing and playing by the rules. And that's very important. I had a military guy, in fact, several times when I've had this comment, they said, don't worry about it, you don't have to do it. And I told them it's my company's policy, I have to stick to it, but thanks for the offer, and put them on anyway. and he start ranting and raving in a positive way. It's about time somebody follows the rules in this country. Something this country is missing is people who follow the rules. So you might get that here and occasionally. Just make sure you do it. Simple discipline. One of the most important parts of this whole call is this next step. I have to tell you that this is a step I find, unfortunately, most salespeople and technicians not doing the greatest job with. And I get asked all the time, traveling all over the country, pretty much every city, training, and I get asked, what's the magic bullet? Give me something I haven't heard before. First of all, I don't think there's anything out there you haven't heard before. It's all old. It's all thousands of years old actually, maybe said in a different way. If there was a magic bullet, though, if there was a key, it'd be this next step: building trust and rapport. Getting that customer to trust you, feel comfortable with you, believe in you, and building a rapport that makes them want to do business with you. It is so critical. How do we do that? One, never look away from them when you're talking to them or they're asking you questions. Never break eye contact. That is huge. Cautious of your voice inflection. That if they ask you a question about money, that you don't get shaky. Stay confident. Confidence is so important in this process because they're watching if you're breaking confidence to see if they can trust you or not. And that's done through eye contact and voice inflection. The next thing about building trust and rapport that's huge is trying to find something you have in common with them. Something that has nothing to do with air conditioning and heating. Something that you might collect the same of, some hobbies that you might have that are the same. It could be trophies. It could be military medals on the wall. It could be any kind of collection. It could be their yard. It could be their landscaping. Finding something in common that you're passionate about and they are too is a winner every time. The next thing is giving them bragging rights. Most people don't get the chance to brag about themselves, and they love when they get the opportunity to. Everybody's favorite radio station is What's in It for Me, and it's all about me. Their favorite subject is themselves. So if you can get them to talk about themselves, it's another winner. One more little tidbit on this. I found that people believe if their dog likes you, you're golden. That somehow we've been trained that psychologically if someone's dog likes you, they think you're amazing. So even if you don't like dogs, please make sure when you walk in the house, don't ignore their dog. It's like kicking sand in their kid's face. Pet the dog. If the dog likes you, they're going to love you even all the more. Next, we want to make sure that why we think we're there and why they think we're there is actually the same thing. It really doesn't matter how great our dispatchers are, how great our lead coordinators are, our CSRs. It's just sometimes what we think we hear, what they think they said are not the same. This is a very important step. One of my goals besides on every call, building trust and rapport, and I think we spend not enough time on this actually as sales and service people, but overcoming every objection before it becomes one. I want to know the real reason why I'm there, and the only way I'm going to do that is confirming it with them. So I'm going to tell them why I believe I'm there, and I'm going to ask them if they're on the same page with me, and then I ask them, what would you like to see happen on this call? Or what's the number one reason why you wanted to have this done today? What are you looking for? And they're going to tell you what their hot spot is. What is it that might drive them to do business with you in the future, or today hopefully. And they're going to give you detailed information that's going to be valuable to you at the end on helping you close them. The next part of the warm-up is confirming time. I've seen this destroy calls where it's not done up front, overcoming that objection before it becomes one, and you're a half hour, 45 minutes into the call, and the customer says, I have to go in 15 minutes, or my wife is leaving to get the kids, she won't be back, or I have to leave, my wife's going to be here. Now our cell's just been blown. So we have to confirm that. One, it should be confirmed when this call is made. Two, should be confirmed when it's being confirmed that you're heading out there, and then confirmed again in the front door. And I like to use minutes, not hours, and let them know this could be anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes if it's an equipment call. If it is a home performance call, it could be anywhere from 120 to 180 minutes. And do you have that time allowed for me still today? Both of you will be okay with that, because I really need both of you here and be involved so that we can do the right thing for you and your family. This is something you're going to live with for the next 15, 20 years. And if it's home performance stuff and you stay there, maybe the rest of your life. So this is not something we want to do guesswork with. We don't want to do guesswork with your hard-earned money. We want to do the right thing for you and your family. And plus, we have to back this up with a warranty and guarantees that nobody else in our town provides. And we want to make sure it's done right and that everybody is on the same page on when we're doing this. Next, I'm going to ask for a place to sit. I do prefer a table, to sit at the table, to sit down with the customer for a few minutes and chat a little more. When we do this, when you do enter the kitchen, to the kitchen table or dining room, wherever it might be, one important factor: do not sit first. Make sure they sit in their chair, the one they are comfortable in. If it's 2 people there, 3 people there, whoever it is, let them pick their own chairs. Make sure they sit in the chair that they're used to. If you sit in their chair, they sit in the chair that they're not used to, generally it messes their focus up. They feel uncomfortable. They're looking at things they haven't realized, like maybe they've forgotten to paint that corner for the last 2 years, and they're not focusing on you. So please don't take that chance. Now, going back to overcoming every objection before it becomes one, everybody's sitting comfortably in their spot at the kitchen table. I'm going to get the price objection out of the way. I'm going to basically take out that shock factor that most people have when you tell the price of the equipment at the end of the call. By the way, I find that most people really don't have a problem with price. It's the person that's in their house, that came to their house, meaning you, that causes the problem with price. I've ridden with thousands of salespeople, thousands of service technicians, and when they're talking about the process of how they're going to help the customer, what they're going to do for them, they're talking about the equipment, they talk with excitement in their voice, they're looking them straight in the eyes, and then it comes to the price of the equipment, and this is where the sales guy or the technician falls apart. His voice gets shaky, he's worried about price before he gets there. Some of them, they're thinking they're too high when they walk in the door. And I've noticed that, especially in the ladies, they have a radar that most men don't have. They pay attention to this stuff. They watch for body language changes. They watch for eye contact changes. And they can tell when something's going wrong. And basically what happens with most salespeople, I'll sit across from them. Again, they're excited talking about all the great things they're going to do for them. And it comes to money. And they do this. That'll be about $8,000, that one there. And we got one for about $9,000. And then they give the nervous look, and the person across from you, your client, saying, "Holy cow, you think that's high too, don't you?" They're reading it from you. They have no idea if that was high or not generally, especially if you're the first call. They got it from you. So be careful with that. But we do have to price condition these people. The key on price conditioning is throwing that out there right up front, not putting the shock at the end. One of the things I love to do is I tell them this could be $500 to $35,000 today. And what that's going to depend on is you. Now, at this point, you're going to probably get a comment like $35,000. That's not happening. Say, well, that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying it will, but you can choose that if you'd like to. And how that happens, see, my job today is to show you all your options, all the things I can do to help you, to make your home safer, healthier, more comfortable, more energy efficient. It's my job to show you all those things, and then it's your job to decide which one you want to pay for. It's that's you. I can't tell you how to spend your money. My job is to tell you what I can do for you and let you pick what's best for you and your family. It's kind of like buying a car. You go out, you look at a car, same manufacturer, same brand, same color, 2 different kinds of wheels and rims on it, 2 different kinds of interiors, leather and cloth. One has a sunroof, one doesn't. One has the upgraded stereo system, one doesn't. You're going to pay more for the car that's loaded than the stripped down one. Same brand, same everything, still drives from A to B. It's engineering and comfort things that you're looking for that you want that this guy might not want. And that's what changes it from $1,000 to even $35,000, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. And so my job today, remember, is to show you all the different options I have for you, find out what it is you're actually looking for, and then you pick what it is you want. You're going to build your own system today with my help. Next thing I found out that when we're sitting at the kitchen table and you start asking customers about if they have hot spots or cold spots or just rooms in their house they're not happy with or noise or health issues, they really don't open up. They usually give you the answer, no, everything's fine. No, it's no problems. Ironically, when you get up with these people and you start walking around the house room to room, it's amazing how all of a sudden every room's got a problem. But they won't tell you at the kitchen table. So my next step and next goal is I'm going to tell them, look, I got to go outside, get my stuff. Let's get started. We're going to get the door hooked. If we're there for the blower call, we get the blower door hooked up. We're going to get everything set up. We're going to walk around, look at each room step by step. That's going to be with your infrared camera, your smoke puffer, and we're going to start the process. One last step of this warm-up, and when we get back in the door, this is critical, that you find out if you're going to be able to close today. This is critical. Most guys make this mistake, and they'll sit there for 3 hours with the customer to hear, I got 2 more guys coming out. And the chances are, unless you did an amazing job with your home performance test and blew their mind, which you should have, they might not let you back in because all they're going to remember is the price. So in most situations, what I like to do is reset the appointment and come back, and I'll talk about that in a few seconds. What I have to do first is identify if my customer is going to be able to decide to do business with me today or not, or tonight. So I have to ask questions. It's going to draw that from them. I'm going to say things like, Bob, Mary, by the way, if you find a system today and you find a package and sealing up your ductwork at home and it's everything you're looking for, makes total sense to you, how soon you plan on doing something like that? Is that something you want to schedule right away, like today, and get this done, or where are you at with that? Be real nonchalant about it, no pressure. Take the sales out of it. Just be very natural with it. Hey, by the way, if you see everything you like here, how soon you want to get this done? How soon you plan on rolling with this? If they're not getting other bids, they'll say things like, well, it depends if I like this or not, or it depends on the price. That means they're open right now. Or you might hear, well, listen, buddy, I'm not doing nothing tonight until my wife's got to see this too. Or I'm not doing nothing tonight. I got 2 more guys coming out, one tomorrow and one the next day. They're telling you, no matter what you say or do, I'm probably not going to buy from you tonight. Now, if they say, I'm thinking about getting other estimates, and they don't have other estimates coming out, which I'll uncover later in the call by asking them, hey, when did you say those other guys are coming out? If they say I haven't called them yet, I'm going for the close tonight. I'm absolutely going to ask them to do business with me tonight. Key is, if we find we're not going to close tonight by them either saying, I'm not going to do anything without my husband here or my wife here, maybe even a son or grandson, somebody that's legally taking care of their money, an executor of the state, and you find out, or they got somebody else coming out for other bids, again tomorrow or the next day, and we find that out, for sure it's set. Our goal is to get back in the door. I have found very effective salespeople out there that have closing ratios over 80% when they get back in the door for the second call. The goal is, if the customer thinks you're doing it for you, for your benefits, why you want to come back, they're going to shut you down. If you do it because it's for them, they'll let you back in. So you have to come up with reasons that will create a benefit for them. Things like, listen, I want to go back and put 3 or 4 packages together for you. I want to make sure that I have everything, all my ducks in a row for you. This is a big decision. I know it's important to you and your family. When did you say that last guy's coming out? You said next Thursday. How about Friday if I stop by with you and your wife for about 15 to 20 minutes? Would that be okay? And I set it right there. Do not leave the house till you set that time to come back. Now, on the other hand, if it's a husband or wife missing that's not there, or an executor, son, whatever it might be, I'm going to say, when is a good time? I'm going to gather all this stuff up. I promise I'll make it worth your while. When's a good time when I can sit down with them and show them what we come up with and how we can help you? Now, I found with children, if it's a son or daughter, is that I like to actually call them too. I ask for their phone number and let them know that the reason why I would like them there is because I want to make sure, if you're like me, I take care of my mother and father, and I'm sure you do too, so I'd really like it if you could be there when I come back. Very important, and most of them will take that genuinely, which I hope you are genuine about it, and they'll respect you for not taking advantage of their family. All in all, this is the ultimate part of the call, building trust and rapport, overcoming every objection before it becomes one, and steering that client and guiding that client in the right direction for a more comfortable, safer, healthier, more energy efficient home. See you next time, next month. Talk to you later.